then lead from behind, Donald Trump is a leader. And we have leaders now in Washington, and Daddy's home. You don't like it, and Berkeley's not liking it. Conservatives do have, in my opinion, an opportunity here to realize that we can have the narrative. We can have peaceful protests, but we can remind them of how important free speech is. Non-violence. Remember the sit-ins of the 60s? I wasn't born in the 60s, but I know about them. These were non-violent. Now, I don't know about these days if you could camp out under somebody's tire without some idiot getting in and running you over. People didn't, you could hitchhike. People would pick you up. These days, you're lucky if you get a ride. Unless you're a woman, you're pretty good looking. Other than that, you're not getting a ride anywhere. Remember how easy it was? Get across town or the next town? I hitchhiked a little bit when I was a kid. Yeah, if you needed a ride and you just needed to get home or whatever, something happened, yeah, it was, and you didn't think anything of. These days, no. I wouldn't recommend anybody hitchhiking these days. But there was definitely much more, in my opinion, an innocence of the country. By the way, for those of you that were wondering if Donald Trump would sign a resolution condemning white supremacists, well, he did. He signed a resolution condemning white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and other hate groups following a white nationalist rally in Virginia that descended into deadly violence. He says the resolution also urged Trump and his administration to speak out against hate groups that expose racism, anti-Semitism, and white supremacy. The signing comes hours after Trump revived his claim that there were bad dudes, as he put it, among both sides of white nationalist protest in Charlottesville, Virginia last month. The president says in a statement announcing the signing that as Americans, we condemn the recent violence in Charlottesville and oppose hatred, bigotry, and racism in all forms. He's also calling on Americans to rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together. The bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together. Loyalty. It's kind of an interesting word. There's a lot of folks who are just not very loyal to each other. They used to mean something, and that's why I like the military. That's why I really support the military, is because you have to be loyal to one another or you're going to find yourself dead. You rely on your friend in the military next to you, because if you don't, you're going to get killed or kill everybody in your squadron. And it really shows a lot of skills. So military, go in. I think it's a great thing to learn all of that. And it'll make a man or a woman out of anybody. And I strongly recommend it. I have seen some pretty hardcore guys that I went to school with. And after they came out of the military, they straightened up. I got to tell you, and ended up with great positions, got educated. I know people that made careers, 30-year careers out of the military, and were able to provide, still able to provide with pensions, got to see the world, got to marry off their family, build a house or two, help with wedding expenses and all that. Yeah, the military is still a great option to get educated, and it's a good move. And you don't have to spend a whole 30 years in the military. You can just get your education and you can get out, but you served your country, so it's still an option for anybody that's looking for an opportunity or still scratching your head, wondering what you're going to do when you grow up. The military may not be a bad option to serve the country. Personally, I like what they do in Israel. Everybody has to serve. I think that's a winner. Everybody has to serve. I mean, it's optional over here, but I wonder if we did incorporate that, if we, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, unless, people get drafted, and they don't want that. But if there would not be a resurgence of people waving that flag higher than what they do now. I just wonder. You spend any time with anybody that's served in the military, they'll tell you stories. And I say, visit a VA hospital. I've done it. You can go in there and you can just talk to folks and say, I'm just here to visit somebody. Who needs a visitor? And, I don't advertise. I don't talk about it a lot, but I just do it because I like doing it. And I learn something from somebody, and it makes their day. You buy them a soda or bring them a sandwich or something like that. It's just a neat thing to do. Get to know a veteran, and, man, you can learn so much from those that have given everything, and some of them may not have a limb. Maybe they lost it a little bit or left half of them behind where they fought, so to speak, where they're suffering from all sorts of PSD, post-traumatic stress disorders and medical conditions and all sorts of things. But be a ray of sunshine to somebody that has given everything, because without them, folks, we would not have the freedoms that we have. So let Berkeley complain, but conservatives, we have a job. We can step up to the plate, and we can let them know that we can be peaceful. But the double standard, there's no place for it in America. We can both be able to say it without violence. This is what men and women fought for, so we can have those freedoms. I'm Keith Allen for the people, saying all the best. May God bless.